All right, we'll call the meeting to order of the Angola Investment Fund Account Board at 17:30. You're a little bit later than the published time. I will do roll call. Jerry.
Here.
Maria.
Here.
Sandy.
Here.
Isaac.
Here.
Mark.
Here.
Kyle.
Here.
And Andy's here. We have Retha with us as well. We have the minutes from the November 25th, 2024 meeting. We look for a motion to approve.
I moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion's carried. Thank you. All right. Today's agenda, we have old business, new business, and other business, as well as reports. Anybody need to adjust, add, subtract to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. Any old business?
Back in December, the new policies and procedures were approved by council. So we should have a clean version. I'm in the process of updating that on our website. I'm assuming the city's doing the same thing. The application for all three programs inside the new approved policies and procedures is essentially all the same. So not much changing there, but it does bring up the question about now marketing materials. We have the old AIF flyers. I've still got a box, a little small box, but a box left of those inserts in my office.
There were these here.
Yep. So the question becomes is, do we take some time and opportunity now to actually create or recreate things like that? We do have digital resources, stuff that we didn't really have at our fingertips last time around when we talked about marketing, but now that all three programs are officially created, we should probably have something to be able to pass out along with the digital footprint.
I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah, I would like to see even a little packet or something. Some of those small things tend to get lost, but when we like introduce ourselves to a company to have, all the information they need, like to answer some of their questions, like who's on the board, what is the objective, what's the mission? Granted, some of that stuff is in there, but answer some FAQs and things like that to kind of promote it, so they can also have information to talk about it to other people.
Right.
Yeah, I think something that, and I think that this is good, something like this to get maybe to realtors or just people so they've got it. But yeah, I agree. Maybe some simple FAQs, just something that people really understand what.
And the same information would be translated digitally, I think, where they could potentially have a PDF where they download it off the city site and maybe a CDC. So you have kind of like, or a link anyway to link the two.
I agree.
So we kind of talked about if we, Isaac and I could kind of get together, and Jerry or whatever, just to make this simple and do this update. I think, did you say you had the original? No?
I
Okay.
have only printed copies,
Okay.
which is not a bad thing. I think there's some things that we want to maybe point out this time around in the terminology.
Okay.
That was created when we had the old NASIC code
Yes.
industries. And I think the way some of it's worded leans itself more towards that way rather than a broader program like we have. So I think it requires a complete
And maybe it doesn't even need all this info on the back. Maybe we do something with just a real basic that we can just do quickly. And then this board then kind of gets together, and Maria, you would be great at that. Just coming up with what that other material can look like to go in a packet.
I agree. And I think all of our contact information should be on that.
Yeah, I think
Like everybody on the
It should be
board, or,
I
okay,
think so.
Yeah, I think a general overview, like
just something
this is
simple
what
on
we do,
this
this is
to
what we do,
just,
this is,
yeah.
This
And then
is
get
how
on
it
this
works.
website and look at whatever to get more
Might be a little
details.
much though if board contacts are on there just because you'd have to change it out.
No,
Every
Well, I don't know if we
time,
want
yeah.
board contacts, maybe just a listing
Yeah.
or, didn't you?
current board.
Like a
I
just
mean, this is a lot of info on this little thing, so we can just simplify
Oh,
it.
what would actually help is if maybe we did a QR code either to
Yeah.
mine or to the city's website on that specific landing page. And that's where you keep it active rather than the printed version. We just got so many more
That's a good
capabilities
idea.
now.
Yeah,
I don't want to invest too much time in a printed document because the moment you do it, it's outdated.
Exactly.
To where if it's at least a redirection to a
Yeah.
digital asset, then we can change that often if we need to.
that's a
Yeah, my
great
thing
idea.
is just things that you can copy on the copy machine as additional pieces of information, you know, and like in a PDF, that's easy to do,
Yeah,
to convey to people.
yeah.
So it sounds like Isaac, you and Retha and maybe Maria will get together and get something
up with
put
something on
together
here.
for the group. And then after that, I mean, you're really talking about not just the document. I hear you guys talking about components of how it gets used. You know, additional plans, whether that's realtors or back to the paper and all the other stuff that we
Service
talked about.
organizations.
Right. So,
I personally think there's two groups that should have access to it. And one is the industries, those same industries that we're promoting. So you've got three programs now, right? You've got the industrial side, which is one we just used. You've got the retail side, commercial side, which is a brand new one. And then you've got this entrepreneurship piece. So at least on the industrial side, it should go to industries and bankers. Our only banker in the room. But then if you go the retail route, you've got the Chamber of Commerce, I think, which is a good distribution center for this information to
Yes.
get out to its members, which are primarily retail, commercial. So it depends then on how we actually pull those triggers from a marketing standpoint.
mhm.
But I think we could devise a pretty good plan.
I mean, we were just talking about when Jerry was in the office, just getting something done quickly.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, hey, maybe we can just get together and do that. But I think everything else should be board voted, should all be
Yeah.
participating. I just thought if we were going to put something together quickly like this, we could do that
I agree with that.
with your approval. But everything else really needs to be determined on what you guys think.
All right. Anything else on that? Any other old business? All right. We'll move on to new business. So in new business, we have an application that was submitted
We have an
tonight.
application from Project Terminal. It was presented in executive session. We had the applicant come in, present to us. And obviously we've gone through the process. The recommendation, I think for this from this body today is to proceed and move that forward with terms to be decided when it gets approved at city council. I guess that could be formally a motion from my seat.
So we have a motion. We have
Proceed.
a motion to proceed with the applicant.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion?
Jerry, when's next council? The first one in February?
Yeah, first.
Is that, what is that date?
Third.
Yes,
Third.
February 3rd.
Okay. So likely as this would proceed, that would be the council meeting that we would present this. I would like to get guidance from Kim on the question and point of clarity as it relates to this loan and the city's position on collateral as part of that. But I'll, as the point of contact with this applicant, I'll be the one that kind of guides them through the process of making sure they're there at night. Typically in the past, it hasn't been a formal presentation, Jerry, so we'll work together to, I mean, not what we saw, right? We'll do what we need to with council members to feed them information, but that night it's basically thumbs up, thumbs down based on the terms.
Okay, wonderful. I think, and they'll have some information ahead of time too, so.
So then your recommendation was to forward a positive
Positive
recommendation
yes,
to
for
council.
Project Terminal.
All right, so we have a motion on the table. Any further discussion on the motion? Call to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Any other new business? Move to other business. Hearing none, we'll move to the back of the page. Do we have any reports?
Well, I would like to see if at all possible, and I know Ryan's got a busy schedule, but I find the financial reports valuable at every single meeting. Where our notes stand, where the balance of the fund stands.
Yeah.
And again, this is just something that it helps us, I think, as board members to better evaluate our position, know what we have in terms of assets to be able to loan out in the various.
Especially if we have open loans out.
So just more of a reminder, if we can make
Yep.
sure that our request as an AIF board is to city employees, and specifically Ryan in this case, if we could get that update every time we meet, that'd be great.
Anything else on reports? Any other business? Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion. I'll second Kyle first.
Maria, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
Stay low.
Motion's carried. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good job. Well done, yeah.
Feels good to,
Good stuff.
feels good to have a loan.
Up in the middle of the screen. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where?
Right in the middle.
Here.
Right in the middle.
Oh, I don't know why it was, okay.